Alright, so today's video is a very overdue luxury wish list video for 2023. You might at this point be wondering, Mel, why have you put off filming it for over half a year now? And that is a very fair question. I suppose the best way to answer it, that I'm sure a lot of you out there can relate to, is that I've just had bigger things to deal with in life, things that are way more important than just filling my house with more belongings. I already have many belongings, least of all the luxury category. I am in a process of just refining my wardrobe, and you know, life is not always about things. So that's why I've not filmed one, as well as the fact that, to be honest, I feel very fortunate that at this point in time I have managed to tick off so many items on my previous wish list, amongst one of them being, of course, my Rolex watch, if you've seen the video of me unboxing it, as well as many other luxury items from ready to wear, fine jewelry, shoes, everything in luxury. I feel like I have been very fortunate to have ticked off a lot. I have obviously had quite some time in the year to digest, reflect on my previous wish list, and also build my future one. But that is not all that we are here for today, because as you will see from the title, I actually have such a big milestone wishlist item that I am so excited to be able to share with you all right here on my YouTube channel, with my latest addition to my little luxury family. Okay guys, are you ready for the reveal? I don't think you're ready. I'm so excited and proud to reveal to you my baby Pomsky! Oh! By the way, before I get into details of my beautiful baby, and Daddy is keeping her very entertained, I just want to make the disclaimer that she was literally in the Chanel bag for basically 10 seconds. And I know some of you might think, Mel, that was quite the ruse, but you know, she is a luxury wishlist item, and of course, as somebody who loves Chanel and my newest baby, Daddy is making her go crazy, I thought the Chanel bag reveal would be fitting given the channel, and given that she is quite the princess. She does have the luxury bougie lifestyle that her mummy has. Let me, without further ado, give you a bit more details on who we have here. So we have Pebbles, the Pomsky. Those of you that watched the Flintstones as a child, iconic show, will know Pebbles. Very cute baby, so I thought it would be a perfect name for my little baby. She's cute, but she has a mean bite. And Daddy, I think I'm gonna need more snacks because she's polished them all up. Thank you. Anyway, back to the story. So Pebbles is a Pomsky pup. Those of you that have been watching the channel for quite some time will know, and I'll insert relevant clips here, that I've been wanting a Pomsky pup for the longest time, but as you all well know from my videos, I wanted to make sure that I could provide a very safe and loving home. Now moving on to the final item in this wish list. It's not necessarily an item, it's more, I guess, a member of the family, and that would be a dog. I would love to get a dog. I'm a dog person. I'm thinking a Pomsky would be really nice. And then the only other thing that was on my list is actually a dog, and a Pomsky pup is definitely still on the list. Let's hope 2022 or maybe 2023, we'll see, but it's got to be the right timing for a pup to join the fam. And now it just so happened, the stars aligned. We saw the most beautiful pup online, and we just thought, what better time than the present? And you know, I actually do have the bandwidth to look after and train a dog. We actually then, just last week at the time of filming, so she'll probably be a little bit older, and those of you on Instagram will see her grow if you do so wish to. We got her last week. She is currently just turned 11 weeks old. As you can see, she's a tiny pup, but she's even getting bigger by the day, and even this, I'm like, wow, she is so much bigger than when we got you, Pebbles, huh? We are learning her personality day by day. Oh, yes, you love your mommy. I cannot believe I'm in a position to have her in our little family. So she's now part of our Instagram and YouTube family. So say hi, Pebbles. I think she's a bit stroppy because we've ceased snacks, and she's a little bit pooped as well, so she probably wants to go for a nap. But I promise we have fed and watered her. We've gotten so many toys and so many lovely pieces of kit and clothing for her, as you can see. So she's a very fashionable pup, but I will let her go as she is writhing away, goodbye. I'm just so overwhelmed and so pleased that she is here. You just don't know the unconditional love of a puppy until you get one, and I'm just so glad that it's her because she's perfect and she's so beautiful. I think being able to love, take care of, and receive that love back and make beautiful memories with Pebbles is just above and beyond any handbag that I could get. But I will continue this video about all of the other luxury and I suppose non-luxury items. And so we're just gonna go very quickly through what is left on my wish list. Now, bearing in mind again, caveat, I am not expecting to add all of these in this year. I mean, we only have, what, 3 months of the year. These are just things that I think will be rolling over for maybe a few years to come, maybe a couple of years if I'm lucky, and will be classic and things I will actually use. Let's start, of course, with the fun parts, which are handbags. Love a good handbag. I will say though, I have actually sold on a couple of handbags and just other items generally, luxury and non-luxury, that I do not use. So I free up some funds for things that I actually will get use and will get joy out of. And so when I'm talking about these handbags, I really thought long and hard about what are classic fixtures that are going to be in my collection until the day that I die, basically. The first one is actually, and a lot of you may be surprised because I don't think I've mentioned this particular bag before, but it is on the minds of many at the moment. I am considering getting the Chanel Party Kelly bag. Now, I'm sure everyone will be like, oh yes, of course, the Kelly bag that everybody is going on about right now, because this bag is like the it bag at the moment. It's obviously a very iconic tote bag style, but that is not the actual bag that I want, because I do think, to be honest, upon closer inspection on videos and photos that people have taken, it looks really cheap, it looks fake. It's not up to the standard that I hold for Chanel. Relatively speaking, the price point of around what, 3,600 or 3,700 pounds is more reasonable than a classic flap, which is now upwards of the 10,000s, right? But that being said, the quality, I feel, the stitching, the cast skin that is crumpled, even the positioning of the turn lock CCs, I feel like is making it look cheap, making it look fake. So I'd much rather defer to actually its predecessor that it's actually based on. So that is the Chanel Party Kelly. I think it looks much more classic in the smooth leather as well. And I think it does have the 24 karat gold hardware, gold plated rather. That is something that I would absolutely consider if there is one that is basically in pristine condition. Tall order, I know, but one can dream. And you know, I'd love to have it in a pale pink or a white. So fingers crossed for that one, because I know at this point in time they will be reselling really, really high in terms of the pricing. So I'm not gonna pay silly money for bags. But you know, if I go back to Japan or something, because I have mentioned Japan is the exception to my vintage or pre-loved buying rule, then I will absolutely consider it. That aside though, if I can't get my hands on a Party Kelly, and by the way, this is in no means a priority order that I'm listing these items, then I would actually love to add the next bag to my collection. I would almost say it is on a higher priority than the Party Kelly. I would love to get an exotic handbag. It could be a alligator, could be croc, could be lizard. And look, if you guys are PETA fanatics and vegans, this channel ain't for you, okay? Because we're not gonna get into that rabbit hole, each to their own. I will not impress upon you my ideals. Please don't do that to me. It will not work here. But I would love to get one of those. I think it would be very, very special. It would be also very durable as well, especially in those leathers that I have mentioned, those skins that I have mentioned. And I think that is just like the last missing piece in the puzzle of my collection. And I've actually bought my mom a snakeskin bag. I know she has a few snakeskin, but they are a little bit more delicate. The scales can lift off. They need a lot of care. I believe she also has ostrich as well, and that is also very, very delicate. So I'm gravitating towards more of the reptilian leathers because they are very, very durable, and I love the textures. I absolutely love the look, and it will look way nicer when I'm also a lot older too. So it's definitely got the staying power and longevity. And you know, I think it is a really good investment overall. I'm thinking the Louis Vuitton Capucines bag in the BB size. I think it's a really good bag that is very classic in Louis Vuitton's house. I believe it is also a very good size from a practicality perspective as well. The phone is the minimum, okay? I think it looks very classic, ladylike. It does have a Chanel party Kelly vibe. I'm really open to colours at this stage, just not something leery and crazy colours, but I think it will be a stunning evening bag. Let's move on to the only other handbag that I actually have on this wish list, and it's a little bit more open, and this is a rollover, I suppose, of previous wish list videos. A summer bag, so it could be like a pastel yellow. I absolutely love the colour. Probably a seasonal Chanel bag at this stage, because you know I'm a Chanel girl. Or at that aside, potentially a deep red Chanel bag. I just love this deep burgundy colour. You know, they're two bags, but technically, you know, I'd be happy with one or the other because I just don't need that many bags, and it's very dependent on me also getting rid of a bag. Now let's move on to footwear, and I just have two here, and they are pretty open-ended as to what they could be. I do have a few ideas, but the first one is a pair of white sneakers, and this again is a rollover from previous wishlist videos. I am still considering getting another pair of Chanel sneakers. The style could be either the existing style, which is like the kind of tennis sneaker, which has a little bit more of a chunkier sole. I have currently a pair of those from many, many years ago, but as you can imagine, battered and bruised. So I'd love to get another one, either in that style or one more of the Chanel kind of, you know, the Adidas Superstar style shoes. I will put a picture up so you know. I currently have one of those from Chanel in black and white. The body is black and I love them, but I actually think white would be great for all year round. I know there's also other brands that do a very similar vibe, so I'd be open to considering, for example, the Hermes. I can't remember what they're called. They have the Kelly fastening on them, and they're in rose gold, and maybe even silver hardware as well. And there's the low top, high top version. I would be open to either of those. Probably going to prioritize the Chanel ones first because I know from experience of owning two pairs myself that they are really good and they're worth the money, to me at least. And I want to get those sooner rather than later, because I think Chanel footwear, as with most designers at this stage, have gone to the over £1,000 mark, which is just absolutely insane for things that go on your feet. The only other pair of footwear, I suppose, and this is a very ambiguous broad category again, and this is a chunky work heel. Now I do have ideas, and the front runner at the moment is Christian Louboutin. I would love a red bottom heel. I think they have, is it called the Sabine heel, which is a chunky heel. It does look like a work shoe. It looks very prim and proper. Not something you'd wear for a night out, of course, but then again, it is a work heel that I am after. I know people have comments about Christian Louboutin that they are very, very uncomfortable, and they're known obviously more for the red sole than for actually being worn. But I have actually found that over time that I have owned Louboutin heels, tried out different styles, different heights, I found the ones that work for me. They're usually between the 5 centimeter to the 7.5 or 8 centimeter heel, and you know, if I get them chunky enough, they do not actually cause me any pain. Some people may consider them to be a bit too gaudy for work. I will wear them at my discretion, but I think they would also be good for just wearing to see some friends or doing some other, you know, things out and about in town. I also think the price point, just given the Chanels and Hermes of the world, is about half, so it's around £400 or £500, which I think is a bit more reasonable, especially for a brand as iconic as Louboutin. But I will also be open to other brands, Jimmy Choo's, the Chloe's, the other kind of brands that make these chunky style heels, because at this stage I'm looking also for function as well, and the price should also be right. Next, let's pivot to fine jewellery, and this one is a timepiece. Now, I have two different styles from the same brand, and that brand is Cartier. And I would absolutely love, even though I'm not some sort of watch aficionado, I don't by any means collect them nor have the intent to do so, especially from a security point of view, but I would love to own, potentially from Cartier, because I think that their watches are very ladylike, classic, enduring, elegant. Either the Cartier Tank watch or the Cartier Panthère watch. And you'll see what I mean in terms of style when I say bracelet, because they almost look like a piece of jewelry. And I think owning something from Cartier would be owning a slice of history, and for a rather reasonable price tag when you especially benchmark against the Rolexes, Audemars of the world. I would get one over both of them. So it just depends on the style. I'm thinking at the moment silver. I've got a mixed hardware already, so I will probably move away from getting another mixed hardware so that it's not the same thing. But I quite like the square face, the square boxiness style. I think that is different. It does make it look more like a bracelet. I have considered other watches outside of that, like the Serpenti watches. I think they look super cool as well, but not as high priority, and also they are quite extortionately priced for what you get, especially some of them that are enamel. I think if I suddenly become, you know, a multi-millionaire overnight, then maybe I'll get that. But otherwise, I think a Cartier watch would be within the realm of possibility. And finally, the last piece of fine jewelry I'd love to add is a ring. And I'm very open to suggestions here because it is obviously a very broad category. I've obviously considered, you know, diamond encrusted rings with my initials on them in the past. I would, you know, be absolutely open to more fine jewelry in my ring stack. At the moment, they're all silver. And this one is one that I actually made. I say made myself, but you know, I carved the wax for it and it was set by a professional because I have not got those capabilities, but this is a proper silver ring and the rest are kind of like sterling silver or gold plated. So I'd love to get something that is elevated and brings me to that next stage in my life. I would be open to hardwares, though my preference would be, I suppose, silver or platinum gold, because other parts of fine jewelry like necklaces and brooches and bracelets and earrings, I've got quite a lot of costume jewelry, so for me that's not really a priority, and I don't really wear those items anyway that much, apart from if I'm going out for a special occasion or if I'm filming a nice video for you guys. But rings, I always find myself wearing. Watches and rings, they're my go-tos. Now moving on to the, I suppose, miscellaneous category of this wish list, because it's just full of random luxury items, a mishmash of sorts that don't really belong to one or the other. So I'll start this one with, I suppose, a bit of a random item that a lot of you might be thinking, oh, I didn't know that would be on your wish list per se, because it's quite easy to get. And that is a Dior Mitza scarf, or 2 or 3. As you may know, I actually do have Mitza scarves on a couple of my handbags, my Chanel Coca handle and my Chanel Business Affinity. Both have the M, so the letters, Mitza on either of them, and I get them every other year basically if on a design that I like, and you know, each year Dior releases them, so I'm waiting for designs that I do like, because not gonna lie to you, especially on my Business Affinity actually, the Mitza is basically battered and bruised. I've tried resuscitating it with stitches and whatnot, but it's just not working, okay? It's been scratched, it's been scuffed, but well loved, and it's kept my bag very safe and clean, so I'd love to add some more, and they are on the less expensive side of things. They're a very quick win. I get loads of compliments whenever people see me out with a handbag with a Mitza on, because it's just so cute and it's got a little M, so it makes it really personal and different. Now moving on to an item that has been in a previous wish list video, and that's Chanel driving gloves. Now you might be wondering, why Chanel, Mel? And to be honest, that is a very valid question. I'm very open to suggestions, but the Chanel ones are the ones that I've seen a lot of, and I do like the look of them, the fingerless gloves, and I think they look really stylish. I do drive, and especially now that I have a puppy, I will be driving lots to the vets, to the parks and whatnot. So I think driving gloves would be awesome and just really cool looking. And also the fact that they're fingerless, I suppose in winter, I think it would be a godsend, and you can use your phone as well, but also stay warm. Now moving on to my next random item, and it does relate to my wonderful puppy Pebbles that I did mention and show you guys earlier, and this is a bougie dog collar. Now, I have obviously bought dog collars, harnesses, all the gear that you can imagine. I've spent a pretty penny. I've obviously got the practical things for her, but I think to be cute, to match mummy, I think a luxury dog collar would be amazing. I'm thinking Versace. Louboutin, I know make them, but I don't like the leather vibe. It's a little bit bondage and inappropriate for me for a pup. So I'm open to suggestions again, but I'm doing a lot of research to find one that is perfect for her and her personality. And then just to round off this luxury part of this video, I have on my list some items that were in previous wishlist videos, and that is either an Hermes blanket, because I do love the style, and I also think that they are great, especially now that Pebbles is in our lives, that she won't, you know, tug on any loose threads or whatnot. I think it's just one flat surface. There's no, you know, bobbly bits that she can chew on, and we are investing a lot in training her properly and making sure she is a good and well-mannered pup. I'm open to other brands too, because Hermes is not the only one that makes blankets. So again, open to other ideas, and or the Versace towels that I put on my previous list. Again, this was clearly Mel being extra, but I do have a Versace robe. My partner has a Versace robe. If I get a Versace dog collar, I think it would be nice to have those Versace towels, just fun. So that is the luxury part of this video. And then I just wanted to give a nod to a couple of other small bits that I have mentioned in previous videos, but since we're making this like an update video, I will just cover them very quickly. So here on my list, I had an upgrade of my camera gear, and I've mentioned in the past having lenses and whatnot. I've obviously added those. I'm super happy about it. I'm considering upgrading this camera because while it is awesome and I do love the quality and whatnot, there are a few gripes that I'm having with my Sony a7R IV, I believe. So I'm currently doing a lot more research on Sony mirrorless cameras to see what's going to last me for the next indefinite few years, because I also want to up the production value of these videos for you guys going forward, and also get amazing quality on my Instagram photos. Shameless self-promo, but go follow me on there for other live updates in between these videos. And then I also have on here a kind of MIDI keyboard piano. I'm guilty, I must say. I've not been prioritizing piano at all. I can't remember the last time I touched it because I've just been so busy with other things and with the new puppy as well. But I think once also I get living situation and furniture and whatnot firmly down, then I'll consider adding it. And also when I have the time carved out to do music production again. Maybe in the future I'll even get like a baby grand or something so I can actually flex my skills. And I'm sure there are other items that I've missed. I know, for example, like Balmain blazers and whatnot were on there, and like a brown work bag, I think, from memory. But those are just kind of negotiable at this stage. I'm very happy with what I have. And if I get more, then great, but I count my blessings every single day, especially the newest blessing that we've added to the family. So yeah, that is everything for this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you enjoyed meeting Pebbles, and if you would like to see her more often, please do drop a comment below and let me know, because I'd be more than happy to feature her. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll catch you in my next one.